So we've been getting a lot of football in the past, couple of days. Games are coming in thick and fast, as we all know. In December, lots of midweek games in the Prem as well, and we've gotten the first of many to come. Round 14 was a blast. I mean, it was pretty exciting, and just like I said in the preview, midweek games would always give us shocking results, and we did get a lot of them. I'm starting with one of the surprising results of the round, Victor. Fulham and Manchester City played out to something you would see in probably ice hockey, in Finland or Russia. 5-4 scoreline. City led by 5 goals to 1 at some point, and Fulham came back 5-4 and could have even scored 5-5. Now, many are pointing to the fact that Manchester City's backline is probably the reason they are not genuine title contenders this season. Do you agree with that notion?
Yeah, pretty much. But I don't think it's just the back line. And I know you don't necessarily agree with this point, Colade, but I believe it's plain to see just how big of a miss Rodri is in front of that defense. He made things look so easy for so long. He was papering over various cracks in that back line. And now Nico Gonzalez wasn't terrible against Fulham, and he's not terrible in general, but to me, it's such a steep drop-off in quality that it's not even funny.
Yeah, to be fair, I agree with you. But honestly, just like you said, I don't think Rodri can save City from their inconsistency these days. But anyways, moving on and over to you, Max. After a strong week of results where they beat Barcelona and, they made a statement performance against Arsenal, the almighty Chelsea lost by a 3-1 scoreline to Leeds. Now, what does this say about their title ambitions?
Honestly, I wouldn't say that they even were in title contention before this loss. And I already mentioned that, honestly, I do rate them higher in Champions League title race than in Prem. So I'd say they have a bigger chance to win UCL than Prem. So I would say they will be at least happy to be 4th or 5th in Prem.
Well, I still don't know why you guys always say this. I guess you're referring to the Club World Cup, but I don't see it happening. But yeah, fair enough. And moving on, and this one I'm proud because I called it, saying Sunderland will at least not lose. Back to you, Victor. Liverpool and Sunderland played out to a 1-1 draw at Anfield. And yes, we've still got, well over 20 games to be played. But do you think the title is looking maybe out of reach for Liverpool? Or is it still too early to say?
I mean, I, for one, am still hoping as a proud Liverpool fan, but the reality is that there's a lot of ground to make up. 11 points difference after 14 games feels significant, to say the least. And I remember saying a few weeks ago after Liverpool lost 2 or 3 in a row that it will be interesting to see how Arne Slot handles true adversity for the first time in his career as a coach. And so far, poor show. It's a trip to Leeds up next for them, and seeing what Farkas boys just did to Chelsea, it won't be easy to get a result there for Liverpool.
Fair point. The state of Liverpool these days. But anyways, moving on over to you, Max. Arsenal used a somewhat rested side, against Brentford. They were able to, rest at least 4 to 5 starters and still managed to claim a 2-0 win. Do you think that the depth that Arsenal have at their disposal is something that sets them aside from other teams this season?
I mean, obviously I can say that it's always nice to have huge squad depth like Arsenal has, but they're obviously not the only team in the league that have this type of squad depth. For example, Man City, probably Chelsea, at least in attack, Liverpool, but they just do it better. Their rotation between games, game to game, it just feels better and smoother because their squad is like every single player knows what to do if he's replaced with a different player, and that makes them like a one mechanism. So that's why they perform this great.
Fair enough. Back to you, Victor. We've been seeing lots of comebacks in the Premier League lately, and Aston Villa were the latest to do, another comeback, coming from 2 goals down to beat Brighton 4-3. That was another interesting game we saw in midweek. Is it a reach? Now, let's remember that after, starting the season on a poor note, Villa are now in third place, 6 points behind Arsenal. Is it a reach to say that that Villa are in the title race this season?
First of all, I would like to raise my hand and pat myself on the back for calling this what it was, and it was an interesting and entertaining game. As for Villa's title chances, you guys laughed at me before the season started when I backed Villa for a title tilt. I think they've been brilliant lately, and it's a bit of a throwback to exactly 2 years ago when they beat City and Arsenal in consecutive games, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they're winning the Prem, but a sustained push from now until April-ish, I don't think is out of the question. The only thing that might get in their way is Emery's love affair with the Europa League, though.
Yeah, fair point. And just on a final note, Max, with 3 wins in their last 5 games, Nottingham Forest are looking like, they've obviously improved in recent times, and now they are looking like they are moving out of the drop zone. Do you think they are good value now to escape relegation?
Well, it's already said a lot of times that I'm pretty sure that Wolves and Burnley are out. And outside of 3 teams like West Ham, Leeds, and Nottingham Forest, one of them is going to relegate, and it feels like Nottingham Forest has the biggest chance to stay out of these 3. So, yeah, I'd say they should be pretty confident, especially with new manager.
Okay, but it's the Premier League, and things can change in the space of 2 to 3 weeks. And the only thing I like to say is we'll see how everything unfolds for sure. But yes, at the moment, Nottingham Forest have improved, and they are looking like good value to escape the relegation. We've still got more football coming up. There's another game week at the weekend, and in our next video, we'll be previewing what will happen in the coming round.